The Magical Dwarf. This is a story from long ago, when dense forests, snow-covered mountains, and sparkling lakes, there was a small village. The people there worked hard during the day, and at night they would sit around the fire telling stories, sharing tales of magic and strange creatures. In that same village lived an orphan girl named Nisa. She was beautiful, yes, but her true identity lay in her courage and kindness. Nisa lived alone in an old wooden cottage on the edge of the village. During the day, she would collect herbs from the forest and sell them to the villagers to make a living. One evening, as the sun was setting behind the mountains and golden light spread across the forest, Nisa was gathering herbs when she noticed something strange. A tiny dwarf, no taller than a large pumpkin, wearing a long blue coat and shiny black shoes. On his head was a tall, pointed hat sprinkled with tiny glowing stars. The dwarf looked at Nisa and said, "Girl, have you seen my magical ribbon? I have lost it." Nisa asked in surprise, "Magical ribbon? What is it like?" The dwarf smiled, though his eyes had a strange gleam. "Whoever ties it on can control everything in the world. Mountains, seas, animals, humans, everything." Nisa shook her head but said, "I can help you find it." The dwarf thanked her and placed a tiny silver lantern in her hand. "This lantern will guide you. But remember, give it back to me immediately. Otherwise, your fate will change." With the lantern in hand, Nisa walked deeper into the forest. Its light moved in a strange way, as if carving its own path. Eventually, it stopped before an old decaying hut. When Nisa opened it, she saw the golden ribbon lying on the table. For a moment, she paused, then thought, "If it can truly control everything, I can end the village's poverty. No one will go hungry." She picked up the ribbon. Immediately, the room filled with golden light and a cool breeze swept in. When she stepped outside, the lantern's glow faded and the dwarf was nowhere to be seen. Back home, Nisa tied the magical ribbon in her hair. At once, she felt a strange sensation, as though all of nature was waiting for her command. After that, she made crops grow in the field, fruits bloom on trees, and brought joy to the people. The villagers began to respect her. Some even called her the queen of the village. But the magic thrill kept growing. She started making animals dance at her signal, and sometimes, just for fun, making snowfall on the mountains. One night, as moonlight poured through her window, there was a knock at the door. When she opened it, the same dwarf stood there. Only now his clothes were covered in dust and his face was red with anger. Dwarf said, "You broke your promise. Give me the ribbon back." Nisa laughed. "It's mine now. I'm doing good with it. You only wanted it for yourself." The dwarf sighed deeply and said, "You think the ribbon serves you? But in truth, it is consuming you. Slowly your heart will harden. In the end, you'll become what you despise the most." Nisa ignored him and shut the door. Days passed, but an odd fear began to grow in Nisa's heart. At night, she dreamed the ribbon was wrapping itself around her neck. The villagers too began to change. Some feared her, others grew jealous. One day the villagers came to her house and said, "We are tired of your magic. End this." Nisa shouted in anger, "I will destroy you." And the ribbon tightened on its own. Suddenly the dwarf appeared, holding the same silver lantern. "It's too late now," he said. "You've made the ribbon the master of your soul." Nisa tried to pull it off, but it melted into her hair, like a golden serpent wrapping around her skull. Suddenly, the dwarf raised the lantern. Golden light poured over Nisa and her body began to shrink, until she too became a dwarf, small, wearing a green coat with a pointed hat on her head. The dwarf smiled and said, I was once human like you, and so were many before you. This ribbon finds a new master every 100 years. Now you are its prisoner, and until the next century, you must find the next victim. It is said that even today, sometimes in the forest, a small dwarf can be seen asking a wandering soul, "Have you seen my magical ribbon?"